Alex adjusted his backpack as the shuttle's landing gears touched the surface of Virelia. Outside, the air shimmered with an almost magical light, and the ground beneath their feet glowed faintly in patterns like veins of liquid silver. The planet was unlike anything Alex had ever seen. Trees stretched high into the sky, their leaves shimmering with colors that did not exist on Earth. Rivers glowed softly, winding through crystal-studded plains. It was beautiful but strange in a way that made Alex's stomach twist with excitement. He stepped out of the shuttle with his team, breathing in the crisp, slightly sweet air. "Remember," said Dr. Carter, the expedition leader, "we are observers. No touching, no disturbing. We are guests here." Alex nodded. Of course. But even as he followed the others, he felt a pull, an irresistible curiosity drawing him toward the distant light of something larger, brighter, almost, like a city of glass. The team moved carefully, scanning the area, documenting every plant, every strange insect, every glowing stone. Alex admired the way the flora reacted to their presence. Some flowers tilted toward them, while vines shimmered as if acknowledging their steps. He paused to sketch a cluster of floating spores that hung in the air like tiny lanterns. "Alex, don't wander too far," Dr. Carter called, but Alex's attention had already shifted. Far in the distance, atop a hill of glittering crystals, he saw a palace, or at least what looked like one. Its walls seemed alive, shifting and sparkling, reflecting the light of the twin suns. The palace beckoned, and Alex found himself walking toward it, slower than he realized. As he approached, the sounds of the planet changed. The wind carried a soft hum, almost musical, resonating through the crystal formations. He reached the gates, though calling them gates felt wrong. They were more like openings in a natural formation of translucent crystal, glowing softly. Without thinking, Alex stepped through. The air inside was different. It was cooler, yet warm, like standing in sunlight filtered through glass. The walls pulsed faintly as if breathing. The hum grew louder, vibrating gently in Alex's chest. And then, he saw her. The alien queen. She stood at the center of the palace, taller than any human could hope to be, with iridescent skin that shifted colors with every movement. Her eyes, 6 of them arranged in 2 vertical lines, glowed faintly gold. Tentacle-like appendages emerged gracefully from her shoulders, moving almost like dancers in slow motion. Despite her imposing appearance, there was something serene about her. Alex froze, heart pounding. She raised a hand, not threatening, not demanding, just a gentle motion that seemed to acknowledge his presence. And then, without warning, she knelt down. Alex's mouth opened, but no words came out. He glanced back and saw the path to the team, but they were still too far to see what was happening. Slowly, he stepped forward. Hello?" His voice sounded strange in the vast hall. The queen remained kneeling, her multiple eyes fixed on him, unwavering, almost reverent. Alex blinked. He had seen aliens before in simulations and virtual reality, but this was different. She wasn't showing fear, nor was she showing aggression. There was respect in her posture, deep and undeniable. Alex swallowed. I don't understand. Why are you kneeling?" A soft vibration echoed in his mind. Not a voice, but a feeling. A wordless message. "You are different." Alex's brow furrowed. "Different? How? I'm just human." The hum in the air seemed to respond like a ripple across water. The queen lifted one of her hand-like appendages, and a holographic projection appeared in front of them. Images of countless alien species, many grotesque, many beautiful, passed across the air. But then, there were gaps, spaces where the records ended, and at one gap, a small figure moved through, holding something that looked very much like curiosity itself. Alex felt a shiver run down his spine. The queen was showing him a history, or perhaps a record of those who had come before. And somehow, humans were absent from all of it. "Wait," he whispered. taking another step closer. You've never seen humans? The Queen's head tilted slightly. Another vibration. Not like this. Not with this. Balance. Alex frowned. Balance? A glowing orb floated up from the floor between them, spinning slowly. It emitted a soft light, and as he watched, images appeared inside. Humans helping each other, building, exploring, thinking. Not violence. Not conquest. Just curiosity, empathy, cooperation. Alex felt a warmth in his chest. You mean humans are special? The Queen remained kneeling, almost humbly. She extended one of her appendages toward him, a silent gesture of recognition. Alex hesitated, then reached out. His fingers brushed the glowing appendage, and a rush of understanding filled his mind. He felt the memories of her civilization, their fears, their loneliness, their encounters with other species, but also their longing for something pure, something untainted by selfishness. He stepped back, heart racing. I don't know why you're kneeling, he admitted softly. The Queen's eyes seemed to glimmer. Another wave of thought. Because you embody what we have almost forgotten. Alex blinked, trying to absorb the weight of the words that were not words. Humans were recognized, not for strength, not for weapons, not for technology, but for something simpler yet far rarer. Humanity itself. Footsteps echoed in the distance. His team was coming, finally. Dr. Carter's voice carried, Alex, there you are. What? He stopped abruptly, taking in the scene. The Queen was kneeling before Alex. The other scientists froze, unsure whether to panic or flee. Alex held up a hand. It's okay. I think. She's not hostile. Dr. Carter stepped forward cautiously, scanning the alien for any sign of aggression. But there was none. The Queen's gaze was fixed entirely on Alex, radiating calm and admiration. Perhaps. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the Queen rose slightly, not fully standing, but enough to indicate her acknowledgement of the others. Then she gestured to Alex as if inviting him to follow her deeper into the palace. Alex looked back at his team. Stay here. I'll see what she wants. Be careful, okay? Dr. Carter hesitated, then nodded. Just don't do anything reckless. Alex took a deep breath and stepped forward toward the unknown heart of the palace. Every step felt surreal. The walls pulsed, the lights danced, and the air hummed with life. It was as if the planet itself was watching, waiting. And somewhere deep inside, Alex felt the weight of something incredible. Humanity was being seen, not as conquerors, not as invaders, not as just another species, but as something new, something rare, something worthy of respect. He didn't know why the Queen had knelt. He didn't know what would happen next. But for the first time in his life, he felt that humans might truly have a place in the vast, endless universe. Not through power, but through the simple act of being human. The palace doors closed behind him with a soft, crystalline chime. Alex was alone with the Queen, standing at the threshold of discovery, curiosity, and perhaps a destiny he could not yet imagine. The adventure had begun. Alex followed the alien Queen deeper into the palace. Every step he took echoed softly, bouncing off the crystalline walls that shimmered in colors he had no names for. The soft hum of the palace grew louder, vibrating through the floor and into his chest, making it feel alive. He had never been anywhere so quiet, yet so full of energy. The Queen moved gracefully, each movement smooth and deliberate. She did not speak in words, at least not as humans understood them. Instead, she gestured and images appeared in the air, floating holographically above her hand. Alex watched in awe as the images showed the history of her civilization. Cities, built from living crystal, beings interacting in ways that were both strange and elegant, records of every species they had encountered. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, Alex said softly. His voice sounded tiny in the vast chamber. He took a careful step forward, unsure if he was allowed to touch anything. The Queen paused and tilted her head. The air shimmered, and a soft vibration entered Alex's mind. Not a voice exactly, but a feeling, a direct understanding. Observe, learn, respect. Alex nodded, unsure if she would know he agreed, but it felt right. He moved slowly, letting his eyes take in the details of the palace. Crystals grew from the floors and walls like trees, pulsing faintly with soft lights. The air smelled faintly sweet, like honey mixed with rain. Small floating lights drifted around, illuminating strange patterns on the walls. "Are these alive?" Alex asked quietly, realizing he was speaking aloud again. The Queen extended one of her appendages toward a glowing vine, and it reacted. The vine bent gently in the direction of Alex's gaze, as if acknowledging his curiosity. He felt a rush of wonder. Nothing here was dangerous, nothing wanted to harm him, and yet everything was clearly intelligent. He took another step forward and glanced at the images floating above the Queen's hand. He saw strange creatures, some large, some tiny, all of them different from anything on Earth. Some appeared, hostile to each other, others were curious, playful, and cooperative. Then he noticed gaps in the record, holes where entire civilizations should have been. Why? Why are there gaps? Alex asked. The Queen's eyes seemed to soften. Another vibration reached Alex's mind. Not all are ready. Not all survive. Not all deserve recognition. Alex frowned. Not all deserve recognition? What does that mean? The Queen tilted her head again, and a new set of images appeared. This time he saw a human figure himself, though he did not know it. He saw acts of kindness, humans helping each other, teaching each other, creating tools not to destroy but to explore and improve life. He saw humans thinking, imagining, experimenting, solving problems creatively. A warmth spread through Alex's chest. You mean humans are different?" he whispered. The Queen nodded slightly. Another vibration. "Yes, different in ways we have not seen in millennia." Alex felt a mix of awe and confusion. "But why kneel? Why did you kneel when you saw me?" The Queen extended her appendage and touched the holographic projection. The images shifted, showing countless alien species, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Many were strong, fast, intelligent, but almost all were self-centered. They sought power, control, or survival at the expense of others. None were truly balanced. Balance, comma. The Queen's thought came gently. Humans are balanced, curious, yet careful, clever, yet compassionate, bold, yet humble. Alex blinked. He had never thought of humans in that way. Most people focused on survival, ambition, or achievements, and yet he felt proud and humble at the same time. This recognition, this understanding, was something he had never imagined possible. The Queen led him to a large chamber at the center of the palace. Floating crystals filled the air, orbiting slowly, casting rainbow-like lights everywhere. At the center was a giant orb, glowing softly. It pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. Alex could feel its energy even from a few steps away. What is this? Alex asked, eyes wide. The Queen gestured toward the orb. It responded, and images filled the space around them. Alex realized it was a kind of collective memory, or consciousness of her civilization. The orb contained knowledge, experiences, history, and culture, all preserved over millennia. The Queen's eyes focused on him, and a gentle wave of thought entered his mind. We have known countless species, but few have inspired us. Humans. They inspire hope. Alex felt a chill. Hope, him, just an ordinary human? The Queen extended one of her hand-like appendages toward him. A soft warmth filled the space between them. Images appeared. Humans solving problems with tools. Humans helping each other without expectation. Humans creating art and music. It was not the power of destruction that impressed her, but the power of creation, compassion, and thought. He realized something important. She was not kneeling because he was strong or dangerous. She knelt because humans represented something rare in the universe, the ability to exist fully with curiosity, empathy, and creativity. Alex's heart raced. He wanted to speak, to explain, but no words seemed enough. He simply nodded. The Queen seemed to understand. She tilted her head slightly and motioned for him to walk further into the chamber. Images of alien species flickered in the air, but all of them paused when he walked past. It was as if the universe itself was watching, testing and recognizing humans. Alex stopped in front of the orb and instinctively, he reached out. The orb responded to his touch, pulsing brighter, showing new images. Humans exploring, creating, imagining, helping. He saw acts of courage, kindness, and intelligence, all simple, yet profound. You see it, he whispered. You see what humans can do. Another vibration, soft but clear. Yes, you remind us of what we almost forgot. You remind us of balance, empathy, and wonder. Alex's mind swirled with questions. Why me? Why now? There are billions of humans. Why? Kneel to me? The Queen's many eyes shimmered. A thought entered Alex's mind. You represent the choice to learn, to wonder, to act with thought and care. That is why. He nodded slowly. He felt both humbled and honored. Humans were small in the universe, but somehow he was being recognized, not for conquest or power, but for what made humans human. Footsteps echoed behind him. The rest of his team had arrived. They froze as they took in the sight of the Queen and Alex. Dr. Carter stepped forward cautiously. Alex, what's happening? Alex looked back at them. It's okay, she's not dangerous, I think. She respects humans. The Queen extended her appendage toward the team. They froze at first, unsure, but the gesture was gentle, welcoming. The team felt a strange calm wash over them. The palace seemed to hum softly, a melody of recognition and curiosity. Alex smiled. She kneels because humans are unique, not because of power, but because of how we think, how we care, and how we explore. The team exchanged amazed glances. None of them could deny it. The presence of the Queen and the palace radiated a truth beyond words. Humans were being seen as something more than just another species in the galaxy. The Queen motioned for Alex to follow her deeper into the palace. We learn from each other, Alex said softly, echoing the thought that came to him from the Queen. Another wave of understanding filled his mind. Yes, we share. We teach. We grow together. Alex realized that this was only the beginning. The palace, the Queen, the alien civilization. They were opening a door for humanity, and he had been chosen to walk through it. Not because of strength or skill, but because of curiosity, respect, and empathy, qualities humans often overlooked. Yet the universe noticed. He turned to his team. Stay here for now. I need to understand more. Then we can all explore together. Dr. Carter hesitated but nodded. Just be careful, Alex, and don't do anything reckless. Alex smiled faintly. I'll be careful. But I think this is something humans were meant to see. The Queen led him to a vast chamber filled with glowing crystals and floating holographic images of worlds Alex could not yet comprehend. The chamber hummed with life, energy, and knowledge, and Alex felt a thrill unlike anything before. He was small, yet significant. Ordinary, yet extraordinary. He had no idea what would come next, but one thing was clear. Humans had been recognized, and the universe was watching with newfound respect. The chamber ahead was unlike anything Alex had seen before. Crystals floated in midair, spinning slowly, their light casting dancing rainbows across the walls. Holographic images flickered between the crystals, showing planets, stars, and alien civilizations. The air hummed gently, filling Alex with a strange sense of calm, almost as if the palace itself was breathing. The alien queen led him to the center of the room, where a massive, glowing orb hovered several feet above the ground. The orb pulsed slowly, casting waves of light that seemed to synchronize with Alex's heartbeat. It was a library, a history, and a consciousness all at once. He could feel the knowledge radiating from it, not as information, but as a living presence. This is incredible, Alex whispered. His voice seemed tiny in the vast space, yet the orb pulsed in response, as if acknowledging him. The queen's multiple eyes focused on him. She extended one of her hand-like appendages toward the orb. The holographic images shifted, showing thousands of alien species. Most were strong, some intelligent, but nearly all were self-centered. They fought for survival, for power, for status. Very few cooperated, and fewer still sought knowledge for its own sake. Alex's brow furrowed. So, you've met countless species before. And humans? We're different? The queen nodded slightly. A vibration entered his mind. Yes, humans are rare. They combine curiosity, empathy, and creativity in a way we have not seen in millennia. Alex stared at the images, thinking. Humans were certainly clever and sometimes brave, but what the queen saw must have been deeper. He tried to imagine what she could mean. Humans were small, fragile, and often careless, but maybe it was precisely this balance, this combination of strengths and weaknesses, that made them unique. The orb shifted again, showing flashes of human life, children helping each other, scientists experimenting, artists creating, explorers venturing into unknown lands. Alex felt a warmth spread through him. These were simple acts, everyday moments on Earth, yet the queen regarded them as extraordinary. You value what we do? Even the small things? Alex asked. Another wave of understanding filled his mind. Small things reveal truth. Humans act with thought, empathy, and courage. These qualities endure across time. Alex swallowed. So that's why you knelt, because of how humans think and feel? The queen's gaze seemed to soften. Not only for thought or feeling, but for choice. Alex blinked. Choice? The orb pulsed brighter and images of alien civilizations filled the chamber. Many species were strong, but they always acted out of instinct, survival, or desire for power. None had chosen to act purely from curiosity or compassion. Humans could choose. They could think before acting, help without expectation, explore without taking. That was rare. That was extraordinary. Alex felt a shiver run down his spine. To think that his species, often reckless and flawed, was seen as something exceptional in the galaxy was almost unbelievable. Yet here, in the glowing light of the queen's palace, it was undeniable. The queen reached out, and the orb's images shifted again, this time showing a human, himself, interacting with others. Alex watched as his own small acts of kindness, curiosity, and careful thinking were magnified. Each action, no matter how small, radiated significance. You see me? Alex whispered. The queen's multiple eyes seemed to shimmer with understanding. Yes. You embody choice, balance, and wonder. That is why you stand out. Alex took a step closer to the orb. He wanted to touch it, to feel the knowledge flowing from it, but he hesitated. The queen did not rush him. She simply watched, calm and patient. Do you think all humans could be like this? Alex asked softly. Another wave of thought. Not all, but many have potential. That potential, nurtured and guided, can change worlds. Alex's heart raced. He realized what this meant. Humans were not just another species. They were an example of what life could be when curiosity, empathy, and creativity were combined. They were a mirror of what civilizations could aspire to, not through force, but through understanding and choice. Wow, Alex breathed. I never imagined that humans could be seen this way. not just by you, but by the universe itself. The Queen's gaze seemed to affirm his thought. Then she gestured toward a smaller orb, floating near the center of the chamber. It glowed softly, showing planets, stars, and alien structures, locations where humans could bring knowledge, empathy, and cooperation. Alex stepped closer, feeling the energy of the orb. He realized it was not a weapon, not a tool, but a map of possibility. The Queen was showing him where humans could make a difference simply by being themselves. Is this an invitation? He asked hesitantly. The Queen's multiple eyes blinked in a slow, deliberate rhythm. Yes. We offer guidance. We offer friendship. We wish to learn from you as well. Alex felt a mix of pride and humility. Humans were small in the cosmos, yet they were being recognized, valued, and trusted. And this trust was not earned through conquest, power, or fear, but through something far more subtle and rare, humanity itself. He looked around the chamber again, feeling the soft vibrations of the palace, the floating crystals, the pulsing orb. Everything here was alive, intelligent, and patient. It was a reflection of the universe's potential, and humans were now a part of it. The Queen extended her hand-like appendage toward him once more, a gentle gesture of connection. Alex hesitated for only a moment, then reached out. When their touch met, a wave of understanding passed through him, clearer than words could ever express. He saw the hopes, fears, and dreams of countless civilizations. He saw the weight of history and the possibility of the future. And through it all, he felt the uniqueness of humans, their ability to wonder, to choose, and to create meaning even in the smallest of actions. You understand now? The Queen's thought entered his mind softly. Alex nodded slowly. I think so. You respect humans not for power or strength, but for everything we can choose to be. Another gentle pulse of thought. Yes. You remind us of what life can aspire to. That is why we knelt. That is why we see you as extraordinary. Alex took a deep breath. His mind was racing, filled with possibilities. If humans could be recognized and respected in this way, perhaps they could truly contribute to the galaxy, not by taking, destroying, or conquering, but by being curious, compassionate, and creative. He glanced back at the glowing crystals and the floating images. Then, I want to learn. I want to understand more, so humans can grow and share with others too. The Queen's eyes shimmered, and a soft vibration filled his mind. Then you will, and through you, many will learn. This is only the beginning. Alex felt a sense of purpose he had never known before. Humans were small in the universe, yet they carried something the galaxy had almost forgotten: choice, curiosity, and compassion. And he, an ordinary human among billions, was being given the chance to represent all of them. He turned to face the Queen fully. I don't know why fate brought me here, but I want to do right by humans. I want to understand why we are special. The Queen's multiple eyes gleamed softly. You will. And through your understanding, we will also learn. Together, we will explore what life can truly be. Alex felt a thrill of excitement and responsibility. The palace hummed around, him alive and welcoming. The glowing orb, the floating crystals, and the Queen herself seemed to radiate a single truth. Humans were recognized, not for strength or conquest, but for the simple, profound ability to choose, to care, and to wonder. And in that moment, Alex knew that this encounter, this moment of recognition, was only the beginning of something far larger than himself. Humans had been seen, and the universe was ready to listen. He took a slow step back, heart racing, and realized that the adventure was no longer just about exploration. It was about understanding, connection, and sharing what made humans unique. With the stars themselves, the palace seemed to vibrate in agreement, and Alex felt deep inside that the universe had opened a door for humans, and it was his task to step through it wisely. For the first time in his life, he truly understood why the Queen had knelt. and for the first time he felt the weight and the wonder of humanity's place in the cosmos. Alex felt a strange mixture of excitement and nervousness as he followed the alien queen through the palace. The halls were alive with soft light and gentle hums, casting colors he could not name. Floating crystals reflected in the polished floors, creating patterns like rivers of rainbow light. Each step felt surreal, as if he were walking inside a living dream. "Where are we going?" Alex asked, his voice low. The queen did not respond with words, but her eyes glimmered, and a gentle vibration filled his mind. "To learn, to share, to connect." Alex nodded slowly. He understood the invitation, though he did not fully know what it meant. The queen led him into a chamber that opened onto a vast garden. This garden was extraordinary. Trees with translucent leaves reached toward the sky, their branches twisting in impossible shapes. Flowers glowed softly, hovering slightly above the ground. Streams of luminous water flowed through the garden, and in the distance, delicate bridges made of crystal arched gracefully over glowing ponds. Alex took a deep breath. "It's beautiful, unlike anything I've ever seen." The queen extended an appendage toward the garden, and the floating flowers swayed gently, as if responding to her presence. Alex realized that the entire place was alive in ways he could not fully comprehend, and yet it was peaceful, inviting, and non-threatening. A soft vibration entered his mind. This garden is for reflection and understanding. Humans and our species can learn from each other here. Alex glanced at the queen, then back at the glowing plants and streams. He took a careful step forward. "So, you want to learn from humans as well?" "Yes." The queen's thought entered clearly. "We have observed many species, but humans are rare. Your curiosity, empathy, and creativity are extraordinary. We wish to understand them." Alex smiled faintly. "I think humans can learn from you too." The queen's eyes shimmered, and the floating lights of the garden pulsed softly. She led him to a crystal platform in the center of the garden. Around it, other aliens had gathered, delegates from different worlds, each one unique in shape, color, and size. Many had features Alex had never seen before: multiple limbs, bioluminescent, skin and eyes arranged in unfamiliar patterns. They watched him carefully, some with curiosity, others with caution. Alex swallowed. His heart raced. This was not a threat, but a moment of recognition. These beings were intelligent, advanced, and yet they had paused to observe him. An ordinary human. The queen gestured for him to step forward. A gentle vibration entered his mind. "Show them your qualities. Let them understand humans." Alex took a deep breath. Hello," he said softly. "I'm Alex from Earth. Humans are curious, and we like to learn. We like to help, to create, and to understand. I hope maybe we can share and learn from each other." There was a pause. The aliens tilted their heads, flicked appendages, and blinked. Some seemed confused, others intrigued. Slowly, one delegate, a tall being with transparent skin and a single large eye, stepped forward. It extended a limb toward Alex, then withdrew it, as if testing the air. Alex understood. He smiled. "It's okay. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to share knowledge, ideas, and friendship." Another delegate approached, this one smaller with wings like delicate crystal fins. It hovered in the air, observing Alex intently. Alex held his hands open, palms visible. "I am not here to fight. I am here to understand." The queen's gentle vibrations reassured him. "You are doing well. They see you as we see you." Alex took another step forward. "Humans, and we are not perfect. We make mistakes, but we care. We can learn, and we can try to do better. That is what makes us human." The delegates paused. The air shimmered, and the garden seemed to respond to his words. Flowers tilted toward him, streams glowed brighter, and the floating crystals pulsed gently. The aliens murmured among themselves in vibrations and sounds Alex could not fully understand. Yet their gestures became softer, more open, less cautious. He realized something amazing. His honesty, his humility, and his care had created understanding. Without weapons, without force, without dominance, just by being human. The Queen extended an appendage toward him again, and a new set of images appeared between them. They showed humans sharing knowledge, helping each other, and creating art, music, and technology with care. Alex realized the Queen was showing the delegates what humans could offer, not as conquerors, but as partners. Alex stepped forward, trying to make his message simple. We humans, and we value learning. We value friendship. We want to explore the universe, not to take, but to understand. And we hope, maybe we can help you too. The air shifted. The delegates began to respond. One extended a long limb touching a glowing plant, and it bent toward Alex. Another hovered closer, mirroring his movements. They were testing, learning, and beginning to understand. Alex felt a thrill. This was remarkable. Humans were not just recognized, they were respected, appreciated, and even admired. Not because of strength, technology, or aggression, but because of choice, empathy, and curiosity. The Queen's multiple eyes focused on him. You have done well. You show our delegates what humans can be. And now, we offer you a role. Alex frowned slightly. A role? Another vibration. An ambassador. A bridge. You represent humans, not just yourself. You can help us learn about humanity, and help humanity learn about the galaxy. Alex felt a mixture of pride and responsibility. Me? But I'm just one person. One person can show many. One action can inspire thousands. Your qualities are rare. That is why you are chosen. Alex swallowed hard. He had never imagined that he, an ordinary human, could be entrusted with such a task. And yet, standing in the glowing garden, surrounded by the Queen and her delegates, he felt a sense of purpose stronger than anything he had known. He nodded, slowly. I accept. I will do my best. The Queen's eyes seemed to glimmer with approval. She gestured toward the delegates, and the images shifted to show humans and aliens working together, sharing knowledge, exploring planets, and creating new ideas. Alex realized that this was not a dream. This was a beginning, a chance for humans to be part of something larger, not through force but through understanding. Alex looked around the garden. We can learn from each other, he said softly. And maybe together we can do amazing things. A soft wave of sound and vibration filled the air, the Queen's way of showing approval and encouragement. The delegates responded with gentle movements, mirroring Alex's posture, curiosity, and openness. The garden seemed to glow brighter, alive with connection and possibility. Alex smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest. He understood now why the Queen had knelt. Humans were special. Not because of weapons or strength, but because of something deeper. The ability to choose, to care, to wonder, and to connect with others. He looked at the floating crystals, the glowing streams, the hovering flowers, and the delegates. I don't know how far this will go, he said quietly. But I know humans can make a difference, and I want to help us do that. Together. The Queen extended an appendage, again, and Alex felt the soft pulse of acknowledgement. He realized he was no longer just a visitor. He was a part of something larger. He was an ambassador for humanity, a bridge between worlds. The garden hummed softly around him. The crystals pulsed, and the alien delegates watched with growing respect. Alex took a deep breath, feeling a thrill unlike anything he had ever experienced. Humans had been recognized, humans had been valued, and now for the first time he understood the full weight of responsibility and the wonder of what that meant. The Queen's final vibration filled his mind. Together, we will explore what life can truly be. Humans will teach us, and we will teach humans. And through this, the universe will grow richer, kinder, and wiser. Alex nodded slowly, his heart racing. I will do my best, he whispered. Not for me, but for all humans. The palace seemed to glow brighter in response, as if acknowledging his vow. The garden shimmered with life. The crystals spun in harmony, and the streams of glowing water flowed gently, reflecting the soft light of understanding. Alex realized then that the adventure was no longer just about exploration. It was about connection, learning, and sharing the best of humanity with the stars themselves. The garden had grown even more alive since Alex had accepted the Queen's invitation. Flowers hovered and glowed more brightly. Crystals floated higher, and streams of luminous water reflected the soft hum of life throughout the palace. It was as if the very air had shifted, filled with expectation and possibility. Alex walked slowly, taking in every detail. He had spent days in the palace learning from the Queen, observing the alien delegates and understanding the way this civilization thought. But more importantly, he had begun sharing human ideas, values, and stories with them. The aliens were fascinated not by weapons, technology, or strength, but by something far simpler and deeper: human thought, choice, and empathy. You've done well. The Queen's thoughts entered his mind gently as he walked along a crystalline pathway. Your presence has reminded our people of what life can aspire to. Humans carry potential beyond what we have seen. Alex smiled softly. Thank you. I just tried to show who we are, what we can be. The Queen extended an appendage toward him, a gentle gesture of acknowledgement. Then she gestured to the alien delegates. They approached Alex one by one. Some extended limbs, others hovered in graceful arcs. Each gesture was subtle, but Alex could feel respect, curiosity, and even admiration. These beings, so advanced and so different, had come to see humans as partners rather than strangers. Alex's heart swelled. I never imagined humans could be seen this way, he whispered. Not for our power, not for our strength, but for what we choose to be. The Queen's eyes glimmered. That is why we knelt. That is why we recognize you. Your species carries balance, empathy, and curiosity in a way that inspires hope. Alex nodded slowly. He thought of Earth, the oceans, forests, cities, and small acts of kindness that often went unnoticed. Somehow the Queen had seen all of that and understood its significance. Humans, flawed and ordinary as they were, had a place in the stars. The Queen guided him to a platform overlooking the garden. From here, Alex could see the palace sprawling like a living crystal city, with floating lights, glowing streams, and alien delegates moving gracefully among the structures. The view was breathtaking, and Alex felt a profound connection to this place, to the aliens, and to humanity itself. You have shown them. The Queen's thoughts entered softly, and in doing so, you have shown yourself. Alex exhaled. I guess being human is more than I thought. Maybe it's our choice, our curiosity, and our care for each other. The Queen's appendage extended again. Images appeared in midair. Humans exploring, learning, sharing, helping one another, and creating. Alex realized the Queen was showing the delegates and him the potential humans could offer, not just to their own planet, but to the galaxy. One delegate stepped forward, hovering near Alex. Its large, luminous eye studied him closely, then tilted in a gesture that felt like respect. Alex smiled. He raised his hand in greeting. It's okay. We don't want to harm. We want to share, to learn, and to understand. Another delegate approached, smaller and more delicate, its wings reflecting the glowing light. Alex instinctively mirrored its movements, careful, open, and calm. The alien seemed to respond in kind, a silent dance of trust and understanding forming between them. The Queen's eyes softened as she observed the interaction. You are teaching them through your being, through your actions. They are beginning to see humans as we see you. Alex took a deep breath. It's amazing that just by being ourselves, humans can make a difference. We don't need weapons or power, just curiosity, care, and thought. The Queen extended an appendage, creating a soft pulse in the air. Images of planets, stars, and civilizations appeared. Alex realized these were opportunities, places where humans could share their knowledge, empathy, and creativity with other beings. You mean, we can help? Alex asked softly. Yes. Through understanding, cooperation, and choice, humans can inspire, guide, and grow. And through them, the universe will become richer. Alex felt a surge of pride and responsibility. Humans had always looked to the stars, wondering what was out there. Now for the first time, it seemed the stars were looking back. And recognizing humanity. The Queen led him to a crystal chamber that seemed to hum with energy. Inside, a small platform held what Alex realized was a portal, a gateway back to the shuttle that had brought him here. Beyond it, he could see the glowing horizon of Virelia, rivers of light winding through the crystal landscape. Alex hesitated. He did not want to leave the palace, the garden, or the Queen, but he knew he must return to Earth to share what he had learned and represent humanity in the universe. The Queen extended an appendage one last time. Another wave of thought filled his mind. Go. Share. Teach. Inspire. Humans have been seen, and now the universe waits to know you. Alex nodded, swallowing hard. I'll do my best, not just for me, but for all humans. The portal shimmered, and Alex felt the familiar pull of the shuttle beyond. He glanced back at the Queen in the garden, seeing the delegates moving among the glowing plants and streams. Somehow he knew this was not goodbye. This was the beginning of a connection that could last for generations. As he stepped through the portal, Alex felt a warmth in his chest. Humans had been recognized, not for what they could take or destroy, but for what they could create. Care for and share. That recognition was a gift and a responsibility. The shuttle hummed beneath his feet as it lifted off from the crystalline ground. Through the viewport, Alex watched the palace shrink into the distance, the glowing rivers and floating crystals shimmering like stars. He felt a profound sense of hope. This is just the beginning, he whispered. Humans can do more, much more. Dr. Carter, sitting beside him, glanced at Alex. You look different, like you understand something bigger. Alex nodded slowly. I do. Humans have a place in the universe, not through strength or power, but through who we are. And we need to show that to everyone. Outside the shuttle, Virelia stretched, in all directions. The twin suns glowed, casting soft light over crystal forests and floating rivers. Alex realized that the planet, the Queen, and her civilization were not just distant wonders, they were a bridge. A bridge between humanity and the greater universe. He leaned back, closing his eyes for a moment. In his mind, he could still see the Queen kneeling, the delegates learning, the garden glowing with life. And he understood something deeply. Humans had been recognized because of their choice, curiosity, and care. That recognition was not fleeting. It would grow, spreading from one being to another, one world to another. The shuttle accelerated, leaving the planet behind. Alex watched as the light of Virelia faded into the distance, replaced by the endless black of space sprinkled with stars. He felt a mix of longing and excitement. Humanity had a chance, a real chance, to leave its mark not through conquest, but through wisdom, empathy, and understanding. Earth, Alex whispered, thinking of the oceans, forests, cities, and people. I have to share this. Humans need to see what they can be. He knew the journey ahead would not be easy. Humans were often careless, short-sighted, and flawed. But he also knew that within every person was potential, the potential to learn, to care, to choose wisely. And now, with the universe watching and the Queen's recognition guiding him, Alex felt ready to begin that mission. The shuttle soared through space, carrying him home. In the distance, stars sparkled like reminders of the universe's vast possibilities, and Alex knew that humans had finally been seen. not for what they could destroy, but for what they could create, share, and become. And somewhere, far away on Virelia, the Queen watched the shuttle disappear into the stars, knowing that a small human had reminded her civilization, and perhaps the galaxy, of what life could aspire to. Alex exhaled, feeling the weight and wonder of the moment. Humans had been recognized. Humans had been trusted. And now, humanity had a role in the universe beyond survival, beyond power, beyond mere existence. It was a role that relied on choice, curiosity, and compassion. And Alex would carry that role, proudly, returning to Earth with a story, a mission, and a vision for humanity's future. The universe was vast. Humans were small, but small did not mean unimportant. Humans could inspire, teach, and connect. And in doing so, they could make the stars themselves shine brighter. Alex smiled, looking at the endless expanse of space, feeling hope for the first time in a way he could never forget. This was only the beginning.